Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Golden Talks. In this session, we're going to talk with a special guest from the ACE program. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to introduce here in the Golden Talks, Oana Bonu.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here, and thank you for the invitation, Gilson. It's really nice to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to us have you here, Oana, and thanks for get some time to talk here in Golden Talks.
Anytime. I love talking in general, and I love talking about the Oracle ACE program. So I was very happy about this invitation from you.
Okay, so shall we start? Let's talk about what you are doing now. How it's how is your work on the ACE program? Can you share a little bit to us?
Absolutely. So I'm Oana. I'm the community manager of the Oracle ACE program. So this is Oracle's external ambassadors program. There's a little but mighty team behind it. We are 3 people managing this overall global program with more than 500 members at a worldwide level. And my job as community manager is actually taking care of the community, of the needs of our ACEs, and communicating all the amazing achievements that they have professionally, while also promoting the program in general. So everything from social media, events, live or virtual, newsletters, blogs, so you name it, all of that falls into me. And I'm happy to have this role for almost 3 years. So it's already been 3 years since I joined the team. And during this time, I had the opportunity to work with so many amazing professionals from from all over the world, from over 50 countries, which I find very amazing. It's very great to have this exposure to this community.
Right, so it's a big journey, right? With 3 years managing the community. And can you share to us for this period what was the big challenges that you have managing the community? The people from the community are helping you or are doing some things that make your life difficult sometimes? Share to
No,
us the bad things.
I would never say bad things about the Aces. Because mainly because I have no bad things to say about them. They are all amazing people. I was so lucky to find a very engaged community. I don't know if you know, but it's very hard for a community manager in general to have an engaged community, right? You sometimes feel like you're talking to the walls, like nobody's listening. But when I came to this program, to this team, I actually saw that so many people were active and were acting as ambassadors themselves of the program, and they were super engaged, and it was so easy to talk to them and to communicate things with them. So that was a very nice surprise. And then, over time, when I had the opportunity to meet some of them in person, it was actually like meeting old friends. It's not that distance that you can sometimes feel between colleagues or between people you don't really know well. No, it's like you're meeting a group of friends, and I feel included and part of them, even though I'm not technical at heart, right, as they are, but we'll talk more about that. So no, I mean, I kind of see the ups of this job and the many benefits.
All right. And the Oracle ACE program is increasing year by year. And if there are professional guys that it's interesting, join the program, can you give some tips on what they should do? Right?
So let me, mention that the Oracle ACE program has been around for almost 20 years now. As I mentioned, it's a global program who manages external tech experts and community leaders, so from all over the world, who are doing amazing things outside their job, day-to-day jobs. And Oracle recognizes, rewards them, and promotes them through this program for their amazing contributions to the Oracle community. So right now, as we mentioned, we have over 500 members already. It's slowly increasing day by day. We have members from over 50 countries from all over the world. Most of them are in North America and Europe. But of course, we have South America, we have Middle East, so we have Asia Pacific. So we have members from the world. The aim is to find those like-minded technical professionals out there who love Oracle, who love networking, who like to be part of something bigger, something greater, of a community. And I think they can they can be a good fit into our program. So for the people who are watching this video, if you kind of feel like this is something you would like to know more about or experience, we are happy to have you aboard. Of course, there's a nomination program. I think we can share some of the links for the programs in the video description once this is live. But it's very easy. It's ace.oracle.com. This is our website where you can find all the information you need about the program. You can find who our members are. You can find the nomination form. So pretty much it's a form where you list your name, your credentials, your experience, and of course your contributions to the Oracle external community. And then we review that and of course come back with an answer to you if we can approve you into the program. Um, I can talk more and more. I don't know. Have I covered your question?
Yeah, that's perfect. I think the major information we have. So if you are interested, let's join the program. It's a good option. It's a really nice program. I can say that I'm part of the program. I think for the last 5 or 6 years, and you're gonna meet amazing people. You're gonna have the opportunity to go in really nice events around the world and much, much more. There is some badges that we earn. And yeah, let's join the program and let's help the community and help the other professionals. All right.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So the program has 3 levels. You are usually joining as an ACE associate, but during time you have the opportunity to climb up and become an ACE Pro or an Oracle ACE Director. And of course, each level unlocks more and more benefits. You get a range of benefits for being a member. As I mentioned, visibility. You have your own page on our directory with your name, with your social media links, with a bio, with your contributions. But more than that, you get free exam vouchers, you get a lot of digital assets, exclusive content, invitation to networking events live or online. Plus, you can reach out to higher levels. You are going to get more benefits such as swag, invitations to Cloud World, even a travel support eligibility if you're an ACE director who is attending conferences and talking about Oracle. So, yeah, it's not just about the visibility and the community. It's also about a lot of benefits that you get if you become part of the program.
And talking about the community and the work with the community, you have experience with that for many years, right? But you are not from an IT world, right? You're not a programmer or a technical person, right? So can you share to us how is this work to have this background with communication, with community, and work with people from the IT world? Is it easier?
Well, yes, you're right. My background is in journalism and communication. So I have a bachelor degree in PR and communications, and then a master's degree in corporate communications. So that's pretty much how I wanted to build up and structure my career. And I was lucky enough to enter the tech world after a few years working. And I mean, I really liked it, right? I personally feel that I'm part of the industry that changes the world. So that's how I like to sell myself. So I love to be part of this industry where I feel like progress is happening the fastest. You get a chance to see ideas. So, from idea to final uh, project and see how things are happening much faster than you do in other industries. I would say like the hardest thing for me is one knowing the terms, so understanding the acronyms and the products a little bit. Like I wouldn't be an expert knowing how to do Apex or Java or whatever else, but kind of understanding what they do. So that's one. And the second one is actually finding the people you can work with, because in every community there are people who are more open to helping you out because they also like it, versus people who don't maybe want to help you but don't have the time, and versus some other people that are probably not very interested. So once you kind of build your own network, internal and external, and you have those dedicated people that can help you, then it's very easy and very nice to do your job and kind of have time to propose new ideas or come up with new ideas. So my work in the tech industry has been amazing from this point of view, because I always feel like I have something to learn from, and people are always open to explain. And because I'm not a techie at heart, I'm not ashamed to say I don't know that. What is that? I don't understand that. Can you explain more? Because that I feel like that's a concern for many people. They are still afraid to ask what they don't understand, and I don't have that fear anymore because you're kind of expecting it. I don't know it that well, so I want to understand it more.
All right. And did you have any difficult? It was complicated or anything like that? Been working with IT world with this background?
I mean, I don't have a strong example at hand. I mean, of course, not everything is smooth. There are times when things are harder, or maybe there's a lot going on in the same time, and you kind of have to prioritize or maybe you are at a backlog, but that's pretty much it. I've never been under that stress to say, oh my god, I want to quit, I don't like this world anymore, I want to change career focus. No, it's never happened. And I see it, right? I At my age, like at this level, with people with around 15 years of experience, sometimes they do a major career reconversion. They go to a completely other field, which makes sense. I understand that, because many probably were encouraged by their parents to go to choose a safer, university, and they kind of know that now they don't like it and they want to try something else. I was lucky enough to have this freedom from my parents. They said, you are going to do the work, so you have to choose what you like, because we're not going to do it for you. We don't want to encourage you to a safe direction, because if you think about it, what communications 20 years ago in Romania, what can you do with that, right? But they have this confidence that I'll figure it out, and I'll find my path. And they allowed me to study whatever I wanted, and that's why I feel lucky that I don't need to go in a different direction. I still love communicating and doing this and writing, because I love to blog. So all of that still, it's something that I enjoy doing. You are still muted.
Sorry, sorry. I just put to mute those people that are watching us let know because our office is very near on East Street and all the time is passing car and motorcycle doing a lot of noise. So if you hear something like that, I'm sorry. I try to put on mute sometimes. Okay. And so continue to talk about uh, what you're discussing and about Romania in your career. You also do some work with the women in Romania, right? I saw that you have a site and an Instagram that it's a lifestyle for women in Romania. So can you share a little bit about this to us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited that you asked. So that's my passion and my project. I actually developed it with my sister many years ago. It's a lifestyle blog/website for women in Romania. It covers a lot of lifestyle topics, such as how to spend your free time, from cooking, because my sister is a chef in France now,
Yeah,
so she knows
nice.
her way around the kitchen.
So
We also
it's not anything related to IT, to
no.
community.
It's a
It's just a
lifestyle. No,
real lifestyle.
it's
All right,
absolutely
it's really nice.
a different way to channel my passion of writing in a less
Hmm.
formal environment.
Hmm.
And where we can actually say about what we do in our free time and what we enjoy. So again, it's like traveling, reading, events, theater, movies, cooking, and a lot of experiences in general. And again, it's
Nice.
mainly for women in Romania. It's called cityfarm.com. It was a mix of women in the city, but because my sister had moved to France, we kind of used the French version of the word woman, so it was femme. So well, yeah,
Okay.
it's been around for I think 8 years now or more. I had it before, way before joining Oracle. And yeah, in my free time, I love to write articles, and of course, I have social media channels attached to that. I have a TikTok account, a Facebook account, an Instagram account where I share what I do, and I love it. Right, in the past, it has won several awards here locally. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time to dedicate to it since I work full time. I'm a mom. I have other passions. I love to travel, so all of that kind of limits my time for writing. But I still love it, and I check it out every day and see if I can post something or if I can write something. So yeah.
Oh, this is really nice. So if someone or me want to go to Romania, I think this is a really nice place to start to check in how is the lifestyle and to get some tips about food and place and so on. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
If you
Yeah.
want to come, let me know and I'll make sure to find like the best topics for you.
All right, all right. That's really nice. So I will ask the editor to just put the site here, and also you're going to be in the description. So if you are interested, know a little bit more about Romania, you can check this site with Ioana and her sister.
Yeah, it's in Romanian, but of course you can kind of use translate, Google Translate, and you can easily find a pretty decent
Ah,
translation.
it's written in Romanian language, right?
Hmm.
Ah, okay. Okay, but Google can help us with this translation. And let's talk now about how is the IT world in Romania? How was the community there? How was the job there? There are many opportunities. How is, in general, Romania for IT professionals? Can you share first?
Hmm. So in Romania, we have a lot of talented IT professionals, a lot of developers. There are many international companies coming here to attract talents. They
Mhm.
are paid pretty decent here in Romania compared to other job roles. And the state kind of tries to give them some facilities as well to keep them here locally so they don't move to another country. That
Mm.
varies from time to time. But again, we have a strong force. I have a couple of good friends of mine who are developers. We've been friends since high school, and I've kind of seen how their careers have developed from a junior to actually managing teams, and it's amazing to see that they have this option here. I would say like the same as a worldwide challenge. There are more men than women, but that's kind of slowly changing, and we have more and more skilled ladies who are working in this industry, and not only in the capital city here in Bucharest, but also in like smaller towns, but which are also great hubs such as Cluj or Iași. You will see that there are strong technical communities. So I would say that it's still a good place for companies to come and find professionals. Yeah.
All right, so it's really nice. I also got interesting to go to Romania, not just for vacation or traveling. It seems that the market it's interesting too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's well, now you have this flexibility, right? Because most of them work from home or at least hybrid. So I can see this tendency. People want to leave big cities and move to the country. They kind of buy these old grandma houses from around the city, and they renovate them and kind of enjoy benefits from both urban and rural areas, right? So they have their small garden where they grow a couple of flowers or a couple of, I don't know, something that they will eat in the autumn.
So,
But also they have access to technology, fast internet, like good, large televisions, air conditioning, all of those facilities. But while living in somewhere where you go outside in the morning with your coffee and feel like, oh my god, I have my own little piece of heaven. So that's nice that we can do that here still.
okay, this is really nice. And still talk about this topic. Can you share a little bit us what is the places, or if someone that it's really interesting to go to Romania as a native, what's the tips that you can share? For instance, if you ask, "Hey, Gilson, I want to go to Brazil. What places I should go?" I would say you should go, for instance, to Rio. That it's a big city. It's a beautiful city that are many places that you really like it. Also go to São Paulo, that's a big metropolis. It's different from Rio, that it's more touristy with a beach and so on. And if you talk about Romania, what places you can say that it's good to revisit?
How much time do you have? Because there are so many.
Oh my
um,
God, I really enjoy Romania. I can say that Romania, I don't know too much about the country, but now talking with you, Juana, I really enjoy and got interested to go to Romania.
So what can I tell you? So our country has an exit to the Black Sea. So in the summer you can go to Constanza and all those cities that are close to the sea and enjoy a bath and
Mhm.
have fun. We have
Mm.
sand and beach and everything you like. On the other hand, we also have mountains. We have the Carpathians, and there are some amazing cities at the mountain part. So we have Brasov and Sibiu. These are great cities with a lot of history. So, for example, in Brasov, no, in Bran. in Bran, one of the smaller cities, you have a castle where Vlad Dracula is supposed to have lived. So Vlad was actually a Romanian ruler that was the inspiration for Bram Stoker, Dracula's novel. So everyone knows about vampires. They are originally from Romania.
Yes. Yes.
The truth about the story is that he was actually a very strict ruler who would punish his enemies or anyone he thought he would betray him very roughly, very in a bloody way. So he didn't actually, feast on their on their blood, but yeah, he was very vengative, let's say. So of course, there are a lot of these stories. We don't necessarily like the fact that he's compared to a vampire because for us in our history, he's a great ruler who helped the country. But it's something touristical, and everyone wants to see that castle when they come to Romania. We also have some amazing landscapes, like everywhere in the country. For example, there are a lot of traditional festivities. Somewhere in the summer, it's called Mount Gaina, so it's Chicken Mountain. It's a festival there happening every year in July, I think, where back in the days, men and women came from all over the region on top of that mountain, and they had a big party, and that's where you would find your wife or your husband. That was like the matching place of the region. So that's also something very interesting.
It's like a Tinder in real life or something like that.
Yes, like an old version of Tinder. Yes, we we also have Cimitirul Cemetery Săpânța, which is a cemetery, as the name says it. But it's called the Happy Cemetery of Săpânța because on the stones you have like lyrics and little poems, which are funny per se. I mean, it's not a place where you go to cry. It's a place where you kind of enjoy the smartness of those people who wrote those lyrics. Like if someone was drinking too much and that caused his death, it's kind of written in such a way that it's funny and in rhymes, and it's so that's also something to experience. And those are the first things that come into mind, but there are definitely much more because we also have like lakes or in Buzău we have volcanic, but not all any type. It's muddy volcanic, so uh, it sends out mud, so not lava. It's mud. You won't be hurt from it, but it still kind of has that. It's pretty
sounds
unique.
interesting.
I think there are some in some parts of the Middle East. I think they're unique in Europe. Yeah.
So, guys, are you also interested as me? Now, Romania, it's a place that I'm gonna put in my next travels to go in all this deep suggestion from Oana. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it's been around for before BC, right? We have history going back a few hundred years before Christ. So we kind of see that history, how it came together. There were used to be more separate regions, but people talk the same language, Romanian. And over time, they slowly united into one big country, Romania. So it's kind of, they have different influences. So we had Germanic or Slav or Russian influences over time, but it's all combined into one country. Of course, we have like regional words or expressions, and people talk with accent in various places of the country. But all in all, we're all Romanian, and I'm really proud, right, to be able to share more about my country because we love to travel, my husband and I. But we always say there are so many things, so many beautiful things you can see here in Romania, and after that, of course, go and travel the world if you can. But you should first discover your home country.
All right. So I started to imagine and understand why you did communication because you are a person that knows a lot about the country and all the things that it's happening. And this is a question that I want to ask you. Why did you decide to do something related to communication? Because you did your bachelor and then you did your master degree and you were working for so many years. What happened when you was like a teenager or as an adult and you thought, oh, I like this and I will study and do my career in communication? Can you share to us?
It's a nice question. I haven't thought about my teenage years in a while. I would say I was in
Usually
high
I ask
school.
for the technical guys. Sorry. Usually I ask for the technical guys. Why did happen when you was a teenager to start working with computers? And
Mhm.
for you, yes, why happened that makes you have this desire and want to work with communication?
Well, I was a girl living in a small city, like 100 kilometers away from Bucharest. So I lived in a small city, who
Mhm.
didn't actually knew what she can do in her life. I
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of tried to, to learn as much as I could. Back then you used to go to the library to do your homework, so no
Mhm.
internet, at least not to this extent. While when I was in high school, it started developing more, but I still kind of
Mhm.
caught this time before having a cell phone, before having a home computer. So I didn't necessarily knew what I want. I knew I wanted to go big, to leave my country and move somewhere where I have more opportunities. I used to be in a in a class that was teaching a lot of French. So my first, I know I should know French better than I do English because that was like my major, my first foreign language that I learned. But after that, in high school, I
Oh,
studied in a class of
how many languages do you know, as you
well,
mentioned?
of course, Romanian, right? My
Yeah.
native language. I know English at a professional level. I use that day to day in my job. I know a
Mhm.
little bit of French from what I remember.
Mhm.
It's rusty, but it's still out there. So if I have the opportunity, I can remember, and I totally understand a lot of it. I also understand the decent Spanish. I tried learning German. I did so for like a year and a half, but it's kind of the hardest language I've ever tried to learn. So I wouldn't
Yeah, I
say
can imagine it.
it didn't really stuck. So I know words, I know phrases, but when
Mhm.
someone is talking back at me, I cannot get the full understanding of what they're
Mhm.
saying. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Those are the
Mhm.
languages I know. They're helpful when I travel. They're decent.
Okay.
So yeah, in high school I studied math, informatics. I was in a class full of people who love. So that was mathematics and informatics. I was decent, average level, not the top, but not the lowest. But I always had this passion for languages, for foreign languages, for Romanian language, for literature. So I was the best at those things in my class. So people used to ask me, why are you here? Why didn't you go to that specific class? And I said, no, because I don't necessarily know what I want to do with the rest of my life. So I wanted to keep my opportunities open. But then, when I was in high school, this idea of journalism, that's what I knew. It was the faculty of journalism. That's what I understood. And this idea to kind of be there where things happen and know about them in advance and communicate them to others, it has always been appealing. And
Mhm.
the FOMO, fear of missing out. I think I have that, and that's covered by my profession, right?
Yeah.
I need to know things, preferably
This
before
makes
others
sense. Right.
preferably before others know it, and then I need to kind of package them in a format that's easily understandable for others. So I've always liked that. I didn't necessarily knew where it would lead me, but then while in the university I realized that journalism means fast, consumable. Right, then you have to update people very fast, and I kind of wanted to have the time to kind of rewrite it a little bit more, think about the context, and it wouldn't have been fast, right? So I slowly switched towards PR, public relations, which I felt were more to my appeal, and that's how it kind of went from there.
Right. So it was talking to you now. It makes it's make much sense with your background and all the work that you are doing now. And there is one question that I want to ask is with all of these this work and background and traveling, I think it's one of the nice part of this career, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you share to us a little bit about that? How communication and also with the ACE program and helping you to travel to another countries to meet other people, other cultures, and so on?
Absolutely. So one of the benefits of the Oracle Ace program, as we mentioned, are live events. Well, these happen around conferences all around the world. Usually, either it's Oracle conferences, but we also are part of Oracle user group events, right? So when we know that a user group is organizing a large conference where many of the speakers are Oracle aces, and this happens on a regular basis. There are times when we are able to travel there to that specific conference and actually meet our aces and do some nice activities for them. We do dinners, right, where our members have an opportunity to meet in an informal environment and talk and network, of course, enjoy a glass of wine or two. But also, we do something called Ace Adventures, which is a fun concept we developed a couple of years ago, and it's really nice received, where we're trying to find something specific to that location. And we want to learn. So the way that I explained to you about Romania before, that's the way we want to also explain to the people attending that conference, the ACEs attending that conference, more about the place where they're at. Because many times you go to the conference, you are there for 1 2 days, you are at the conference from morning until late in the evening, and you don't necessarily, you've traveled but you haven't discovered the city where you're at. So through these adventures we are trying to again help aces meet in an informal way, learn things together. And this is actually how we see that friendships are being developed, and they're super nice and open about that. When we can, of course, we extend this invitation to their partners if they're not traveling alone, if they're traveling with their spouse or friends or partners. Sometimes there are opportunities where we also invite those. And so far we've done events in Germany a couple of times, in Nuremberg. So we went to a city tour of kind of see the historical center. We've also been in an underground tour to see the dungeons and all of that, and enjoy a beer tasting because that's
Mhm.
pretty typical.
This is one of the good parts, right?
Yes.
The beer, the wine.
Then to an event that I actually traveled, which was very dear to me. It was UKOUG a couple of years ago in Birmingham. We had this there, so we wanted to do a nice adventure. So we went to the police museum in Birmingham. So we actually came up in two teams. We were divided into two teams, and we solved a crime. Right, we had all these clues such as fingerprints, footprints, all
Oh.
sort of data that we had to combine, and we had this journey.
Mhm.
We had to go from room to room and uncover things. And we solved the crime. We got to wear police outfits and make and take photos, and it was really really nice. And we enjoyed time as a team, but without talking necessarily tech things, because that's something that the conference is covering, right? It has all those great sessions with all those great
Mhm.
speakers. But again, we are
Mhm.
there to help them build this sense of community more. We are there for our members. We want to you know, I know many of us have this feel that they're part of something bigger, that their work has meaning outside of, you're working to have a paycheck so you can live. No, it's
Yeah.
more than that. It's more than that. You want to, this strong sense of belonging, of doing something that's changing or helping or improving the world. So that's what we want to instill in our members. That's what we want to help them achieve. So I mean, I don't want to brag, but
Of
I think we're
course.
doing a pretty good job. The people are
Yeah. Yeah.
very, very excited to be in the program, and we always have people who want to join us, and our active members are our top ambassadors. There's no one who can promote the program better than a happy ace, right? Because you as an ace, you know very well what you
Yeah.
get program, and you know what is needed to be in the program, right? So when we get a nomination for a new candidate on behalf of an existing ace, well, it's very easy for us to review that, because we know that the job is halfway done, because an ace
Mhm.
would not recommend someone who's not ace material into the program, right? If it makes sense. I mean, I know it makes sense for us, but I hope
Sure.
it's clear for the people who will be listening to this as well.
Mhm. Cool. And you have mentioned some nice things, and there is a specific event or country that you can share to us that you most liked.
I haven't traveled that much yet. I'll be traveling this year a bit. So and there are always events in Romania where I'm always happy to host them, or because it's easy, I don't need to travel for that. But as I
Mhm.
mentioned, I went to UK to Birmingham. This year I'll go to Slovenia to make it and JCon. So this will be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I kind of feel like every country has its strong, you know, points, and where in every place where there's an AIDS community, it's very easy to feel welcomed. And not just for me. I mean, all our aces feel welcomed where we know that they are already aces. They're like organizing the conference or being part of the speakers. So that's always very nice.
Right.
I would
And
love to
begin.
travel more, or further. So who knows? Maybe in the future I'll have this chance. And if we have this, conversation in a year or two, I'll definitely have more to to share. But
Sure, sure.
on a personal level, I enjoyed very much Rome. Rome is one of my favorite cities in the world. Of course, Paris, because that's where my husband proposed.
Very
uh,
nice. This is
and
a
other than
big one. Yeah.
that, yes, I also love Barcelona. So, I mean,
Nice.
I'm mainly traveled in Europe so far. I've only been to Egypt, which is outside of Europe, but there's so a lot to see in Europe. So I'm not complaining. I still have some countries to discover and some cities.
Sure, sure. Nice. And a big question. When will you come to Brazil? One of the biggest events from the Latin America.
Oh, I would love to, but I think my manager Jen is closer to you. So when approving travel, we also take that into consideration. So I think maybe in a vacation, if it's in the
Oh,
future time, maybe in a
right.
vacation, and maybe you can do some tips for me on what I need to do while I'm there.
Very nice. And you mentioned right that Jenny it's near to us. So Jenny, will you come to Brazil? Maybe this year? When this program will join us here in the event that we make here?
Maybe she will. Yes, let's keep in touch with that, and we'd be happy to see if we can go there.
Yes, yes, sure. That's Brazil. It's a very
But we have to
beautiful
increase
place. You're
our
gonna
ACE
like it.
community in Brazil. So that's a good point. We have to increase our community. So help us find more members.
Mhm.
And if you are watching this video and if you feel like you're a good
Yeah.
fit for us, join, go to ace.oracle.com and so there's a nomination section and go there and submit your nomination. And we would be happy to welcome you to the program. And if we have a large ACE community there, it would make a lot of sense for us to actually be there at your events and network with you.
Oh, that's very cool. So, as you're talking about this, all the ACE members from Brazil and also the ones that it's watching and is interesting to become a member of the ACE program here in Brazil, let's work on that. Let's talk, send me an email, contact me on LinkedIn, and let's help people from the ACE program also come to Brazil. All right?
Yes,
The organizer, I mean, right?
and if you want to first kind of see what the Acers are doing, then I suggest you you join our Oracle Ace program LinkedIn group. So
Cool. Good idea.
that's not only for members. That's open to anyone who wants to learn more about the program or what our Aces are doing. So you just have to type that on LinkedIn and Oracle Ace program. It's the first group. Request to join that, and I'll approve shortly. And I would be happy to you'll see the content that we're posting there and what we're promoting from our Aces. So that's a great first step. Of course, we also encourage you to follow us on social media. We have accounts on X, on Facebook, on the LinkedIn group. So again, you can find us pretty much everywhere. So yeah, as
Yeah,
Dulce
let's go
mentioned,
and mhm,
you can
let's go
reach
and
out to
make part of
him.
the. Mhm.
You can reach out to him or to us. We're always available to explain more about the program.
Sure. Yeah, and let's go and be part of this program. It's gonna be really nice having you with us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you liked it, right? You've been a member for 5 years. If you wouldn't have liked it, you wouldn't have
Yeah,
stayed.
that's right. That's right. I can say that. Yes, I was like for the first years I was like a shy guy. I didn't participate too much with the community. Just here in Brazil, all the events in Brazil I participated, but I was not integrated, let's say like that, with the community around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that hey, the ACE program it's bigger than I was. Let's say using or participating, and I started to get contact with persons from another country. I started studying Spanish to be more closer with the people here in Latin America. And yeah, the ACE program it's really bigger, guys. It's not just here in Brazil. There are a big community around the world, and you should be part of that if you are working with Oracle technology because all the nice things and the new things we are always discussing here most of the time before going to the worldwide marketing, before going to the companies. So let's let's be with us and keep in touch. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have these sessions, they're called product overview sessions, where we actually invite our product management teams where they share
Yeah.
the products, roadmaps, what's coming up next, intro to various topics. And that's when our ACEs have the option to learn from the experts, to ask experts if there's something unclear, or get the contacts for the future, right? Because if they need someone to reach out to on a specific topic, they know who to reach out to, or they ask us and we'll find those Oracle experts for them. So it's much easier for them to get to what they need, even for their work, right? Because going back to what you're doing at your job regularly, being part of the ACE program will definitely help you because you have this access to content that will help you do your job better. And we're always open to suggestions from our members, right? So if there's a specific topic or they want to hear about or a specific speaker, we try our best and get that on our calendar, so we can invite that person or have that topic featured next, because we don't want to put random topics that are not of interest. We definitely want to bring the aces the content that they need, right?
Okay, good. And talk about the future now. How Oana thinks about his career for the next years? What are your plans? What you are planning to achieve and to do? Can you share a little bit to us?
My career plans. Oh, I feel like I'm in an interview now.
An interview. Yeah, yeah. This is a kind of an interview, but not a job interview.
Yeah.
But don't worry about that. It's just to we talk a little about more the career and as a professional person. What are you planning and desiring to do for the next year? What is your challenges and so on?
Well, I one of my personal goals is to stay up to date with what's happening in the industry, right? Because new technologies have an impact on the way we communicate as well. So there are a lot of industry events in communications and marketing where you kind of see like best practices from other teams or what's coming up next or how you can use technology to do your job better, of course. So I always try to be up to date with those and attend whenever I can, so I can learn from that. So I definitely want to keep up with what's happening in the market because I have still many years ahead to work. So I don't want to find myself in a position where I say, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed with all these updates in technology that I didn't know about. And again, working here is also helpful on that sense because I kind of know what's happening and I can follow those trends. So on one hand, on the other hand, I also like to explore social media and where that's going because you see these platforms developing or new platforms emerging. So I want to also kind of keep an eye on that and see where I would be, where's the best fit for me. On a personal level, I feel like Facebook's the best. On a blog
Mm,
level, Instagram performs the best. But
mm,
for a work
this is a
level,
good point.
it's X and LinkedIn that perform the best, right? So I always need to be you know keeping all of these together, but also I want to look at what's happening like with things like Blue Sky, Mastodon, Snapchat. I'm not really that into them, but I kind of
TikTok,
see.
do some dancing or things like that.
I have an account there, and I find it the hard with a blog, and I found it the hardest platform ever to kind of post content because I see the new generation, Z, and for them it's natural. For me, it's hard work to post there in like that natural sense
Yeah,
of way. And
I understand you
it's not that I'm
absolutely.
shy of the camera because I've done my share of presentations and recordings and so on. I enjoy being in front of the camera, but I'm not like in that silly way of dancing and I don't know doing lip syncs and trends. I don't I don't identify with that, so that's a bit hard to understand why something is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
viral on TikTok while on other platforms it doesn't perform. But again, you need to
sure.
look at that. And going back to professionally, of course there's always room for improvement, to learn more, to do better. But the good thing about this position, because as I mentioned, I've been here for 3 years, there's never a boring day. There's never a day where you do the same thing over and over again. Because it's so diverse, working with people from all over the world, and that their challenges and their questions are very different. That you always kind of have to find the solutions and answers for them on one hand, and on the other hand, we're always brainstorming ways on what we can do next for the program. We're thinking of a few steps ahead, what we can do, what we can improve, how we can promote the program better, how we can attract more members. So all of that translates into many amazing programs that are in different stages right now. But again, there's no boring there. It's not the one or 3 years ago who joined the program did very different things than the one of today. three years later in the same job role, but the
Mhm.
attributes have changed significantly. They're higher, they're bigger importance, they are more meaningful because as I grow in the job role grows, and my manager, my team knows me better, trusts me more with more responsibilities. So that's always nice. I don't know what the future will bring. I don't know if there will be a different challenge, a better challenge, but the job itself is pretty challenging on a daily
Mhm.
basis. So I don't feel like I need to change right now. No, no. I'll see.
Mhm.
Who knows? I still see myself working in the technology field for many years to come. So I hope I'll have a really nice career here. I don't necessarily. I don't see transitioning. Maybe more towards people managing or project management that somehow under this community umbrella. But I don't see
Mhm.
myself changing career completely.
Okay, it's really nice and have each day with a new challenger. I think it's one of the most interesting things in a job, right? Because each day it's a new day, and you're gonna learn, and you're gonna have more challenges, and this is really nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned one thing that I I I thought it's interesting to talk about the communication that we are doing nowadays. But you have experience for so many years, and for you, what is the big change? How was the communication like 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And from now, how is the communication right now? What is changing? What is the big idea that it's before and now? Talking about us that are more experienced person and also to this new generation, how we need to communicate with them.
So I feel like when I graduated, it was this fear that was probably from school of not doing mistakes, of not screwing up.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you were kind of unsure. You lacked confidence to express your opinions, to your manager, to higher positions. You kind of felt like, what can I say that they don't already know, right? So that's kind of a way of putting yourself back. And I don't know if that's because of the unexperienced level or women type of thinking, because I know that's also something that women kind of put themselves back a lot. But that was something, in the first couple of years in my career, it was pretty hard for me to stand up to what I feel or what I need. And I was very afraid of doing mistakes, such as very easy, like a typo or something. It kind of felt like the end of the world, right? And communication was slower. We used to review a lot what we were going to post, what we were going to publish so many times, and we would lose a lot of time with that when maybe it would have made more sense to get that communication there, even if not perfect, but it was something that our audience should have already known about and not be delayed for a week or 2 weeks until we get the message perfect. Because newsflash, it's never perfect. Because if there are five people working on the same blog, you'll find five different versions every day. And it's not like one is better than the other, right? It's just the person who's doing it is a different person, right? So that's something that used to happen at the beginning of my career. Right now, I'm more confident to express opinions, to share what I don't know, as I mentioned before, what I don't understand. So I can kind of get that to. But I mean, it's not like though. Sometimes you can easily research yourself. All right, so it's a matter of balance. You don't want to waste the time of the people you're talking to when you can easily find out it's a Google search away type of
Hmm.
answer, right? You kind of need to find the balance for that. But again, I'm more confident into what I know. I'm not afraid. Again, I kind of felt that from my managers back then that they were kind of afraid. They wanted to keep their position, so they're kind of afraid of me learning too fast to or too much, right? So they weren't confident, and they kind of kept me there for some basic tasks. And I'm not afraid to share my experience to others because I also learn while I do that. And I'm not afraid that someone will come up and put me aside because of that. I feel confident in my expertise. And again, even if not perfect, I can learn. I like to learn. I can ask. I can uh, I can do things better every day. So, and I feel like I'm at that point now where, again, as I mentioned, my manager, so Jen, trusts what I do. I feel a level of uh, uh, accountability for my things, so I don't. I think that comes with experience, and I think that's similar for every position. Because tell me, were you that confident in your early years in your career as you are now?
No, each year we are getting more confident and we are learning a lot and we are doing some mistakes and learning with that. And this is, in my opinion, how confident it's increasing in yourself. You need to have some experience, some situations that's make you strong, that makes you better year by year, right?
And I've learned so many platforms that I haven't. I mean, I've probably used like for a few months or just for a job role, and then never before, never after. Sorry, like
Mm.
every company had its own internal platform or Slack, chat platform or external blogging platform. So everything was different, right? There were different tools, different platforms, which I haven't used after that, but it's okay. I mean, it's not like it's wasted time or anything because um all in all they're kind of all have the same structure, right? So it's like only the small details that change, and it's always good to
Mhm.
learn something new when it helps you do your job better, even if for a short time. So yeah.
All right, this big challenges. And talk about that in Romania. How it's for you being a woman and work in IT? Do you feel that it's hard? There are big challenges because of that, or it's normal? You can say that the same possibility that men have, women have. Can you share a little bit to us? Because we discuss this sometimes here in Brazil, because there are some situations that it's different for a woman in a man that was not supposed to happen, but unfortunately sometimes it does. And in Romania, how is this?
I can definitely share that in all my workplaces I had more women than men.
Hmm.
So I think here
Yeah.
things are a little bit different. We have many amazing women professionals and more professionals. For example, I before Oracle here, I used to work at IBM. I worked there for 7 years. For it was a global marketing center, so it was
Mhm.
marketing covering a lot of markets, right? Especially the Middle East and Europe. But we had mainly women, right? Mainly
Mhm.
women focusing on that. So they weren't necessarily technical. They were, again, we worked for a tech company in those positions. But I always had like women manager. I never had a men manager.
Ah,
Always
this is
women.
interesting.
Yeah. I never saw that. I never felt that before. Going international and seeing this change. The way the market internationally is. Before that, I never even knew about this discrepancy of wages between men and women. And again, I don't necessarily think that this is an issue here. And we have many women working in general. So I think our ancestors did a pretty great job of promoting women in general, so that helped a lot.
That's perfect. Really nice. And just one more question. We are almost in the end of our talk, unfortunately. I always say that when the talk is good, the time passes so fast. And
Yeah,
we are almost
already an
one
hour.
hour talking. Yeah. And with all of that we talked, the question that I have to you now is what is success for Oana Bonu? Can you share to us?
I think success is a mix of doing what you love and doing what you know best and getting appreciated for it, and also have a good life work balance that allows you to again be recognized and appreciated at work, but also have time to value your hobbies outside work and spend time with family and friends. So that's success, right? I don't necessarily see myself as being the one changing the world. I don't see myself going for presidency, but I feel like I have a place in this world, and I'm important to some people, and that they're important to me. And if I manage to balance all of that and have this sense of fulfillment, that's success for me.
All right, this is a very good description of success. And just one more thing, what do you do in your free time, Juana? What do you do when you are not working from the ACE program? And what do you do to enjoy the life? Can you tell it,
Ah,
please?
I love to talk about that, of course. So, of course, one thing I enjoy a lot is my blog that I've already covered, and I've talked a little bit about that. I also love to attend conferences. As I mentioned, there are a lot of great conferences happening here in Romania, in Bucharest, and I always love to attend those whenever possible. I love books. I love to read, so I have a couple of book clubs here where I attend. I try to go monthly, but
Do you
sometimes I don't go.
exchange books and
No, so
what do you do in these clubs?
we read
Ah,
the
you
same book throughout the month,
okay.
and then we meet and we talk about it. Sometimes we even get the author on board. We have, of course, it's easier to reach out to local authors, but we also had authors from Spain who joined us over Zoom, and we talked with them
Mhm.
about their books. So it's amazing to have this opportunity, because it's a small community of people enjoying reading and discussing, and you see so many
Mhm.
nuances of a book that when you read it you didn't necessarily notice them, but when you talk to all to all those people, you see, oh wow. So yeah, that's a great point. So I also enjoy
Mhm.
that. It's a great moment for me to go and enjoy that time at the book club. And as I mentioned, I love to travel with my husband and my son. And of course, I have a son that takes most of my free time, and he loves to play. He loves to discover the world. He's super smart,
Mhm.
passionate about everything. So he keeps me young, but sometimes it's very challenging. So we also
This is good. It keeps you young. You need to run and play and do all the things. And by the end of the day, you are like, oh my God, I'm
well,
so tired. Yeah.
yeah, but no, he's a great
Yeah.
kid, and now
Yeah.
things are easier as he's older. He's almost 5. And as I
Yeah.
mentioned before we started recording, he's preparing hard for his birthday party. He's counting down the days until
The
that.
days. Yes. And waiting for all the gifts that he wanna have to. Yeah.
Yes,
It
yes,
is
and
really like that. Yeah,
yes,
and besides of the tired things and the hard work that as parents we need to do, having kids, it's an amazing experience, right? And as you mentioned, make us younger. Even when we are tired, we can enjoy too much. Spend time with our kids.
absolutely. You
Sometimes
know
we are
what?
like lazy and tired, but and somehow we find some energy inside us, even with that. That
Yeah, one thing
right?
I do avoid on my blog, because again, I mentioned it's a lifestyle blog. I don't do parenting tips because I feel this,
Mhm.
parenting in general, it's such a sensitive topic and everyone has its own
Mhm.
way. And, children are very different. It's not a one size fits all, right? So what works for my,
Mhm.
my son doesn't necessarily work for yours. So I don't want to kind
Mhm.
of,
Yeah.
be that lady who knows it all and who shares, I'm a great mother. I'm doing my
Mhm.
best type of mother, right?
Yeah.
Is to balance everything. I love my son, and
Sure.
of course, that's the most important. And he feels
Mhm.
calm. I try to offer that. I always explain to him, even when I'm mad, when you screw something up, when you do something
Mhm.
bad, I still love you. Even if I, punish you or
Yeah.
something, I still love you. And now he knows that. Even when he does something and I say, I'm really mad at you, and he says, but you still love me, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
this is part of the process of education, right? Sometimes we are mad, but yeah, it's part of the process.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's very
it's
nice.
always nice to discover the world through his eyes, right? Because you kind of enjoy those small things again, such as snow. Because we were
Mhm.
talking in the beginning that right now in Romania it's snowing heavily, so he loves to be outdoors and play with the snow, and so that's also nice because you kind of feel that joy from his perspective. He loves to travel as well. He loves to help out around the house with
Mhm.
household stuff like vacuuming, and
Yeah,
of course he
yeah,
does that
yeah.
perfectly, but it's like, yeah, great job. That's
And by the end of the day, the persons that most learn and and get some evolution as a human being, it's us, the parents, right? Because I always say that the kids, we are not educating the kids. The kid is educating us to we be better person, better mom and dad, and it's a daily challenge, right?
and an exercise of patience, right? I have
Yes.
to find patience in sources I didn't even do. I
Count
didn't.
to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Wait, 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 wait. Let me recompose before doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, before coming to the office, I was doing a quick study with my boy, and he was like bored. Say, "Oh, I don't know this. I don't know what I need to do," because he was doing a homework. And I said, "Did
Mhm.
you read it?" Yes, I read. Papa read. No, you didn't read it. Read once again, and pay attention of what we're reading. He was very bored, and I was like, "Oh my God." I need to have some patience. Let me count. And okay, let's see. Let's read together. And until he be focused and be able to do the exercise. But yeah, this is the daily life of parents there, right?
Yeah, I kind of have some horror stories of my own. I remember. I mean, my parents didn't have the time to do homeworks with me. And my sister, my older sister, used to do it with me in the first couple of years, and she was so bad at. I mean, she was smart, because she was older, but she didn't have the patience, right? And I was like, oh my god, when it was that time where she looked at what I did and what I wrote, and she would start yelling and saying, "No, you wrote this wrong, and how did you do this letter
Yeah.
this way? It's not supposed to be this way." So I kind of have that, and I always say, when I'll teach my son, when it will be that moment, I'll have more patience, because I remember those moments, and I don't want him to go through that the way that I did.
Yeah, yeah. So this if you have kids, you know what we are talking
What we're
about.
talking
It's
about,
always
if
a
not,
really
we're
challenge.
sorry that we
Sorry, yeah.
took the conversation in this direction. Let's go back.
Uh,
Yeah.
and if you are not, and you'll be in a future soon, you will be welcome in the club to the parents' life.
Yes.
All right. So, Juana, thank you very much to be here with us in the Golden Talks. Uh, Thank you very much to you have some time to spend with us. I always like to focus on that because you are a person that have a lot of compromises, a lot of things to do, and you find some slot to we talk. And thank you very much for that and to share your experience, your career with all of us. It was a really nice talk. And if you wanna say something more before we end, please go ahead.
Yes, sure. So thank you, from my part. Thank you so much for the invitation. I had a lovely time, as you said earlier. Time flew by, over an hour of talking, and I think we could spend even more if we had the time. Or, um, it's great when I get this type of invitations from Oracle Aces. It's lovely kind of feeling that I know the community better, because we're at that level. As I mentioned, it's over 500 people, but I've worked with them closely for 3 years now, that I recognize most of them. Right? It's enough looking at the list of names or list of faces that I, pretty accurate could say, oh, this is an ace, this is an ace, this is an ace, right? So it's still a community where you feel like it's a one-to-one level, but still it's a community level in the same time. So every time that I have this opportunity to interact with our aces, to talk more, get to know them better, it's always time earned, not time spent. So it was a pleasure to be here to talk more about the Oracle program, the Oracle Ace programs, and to encourage you, of course, all of you to become members if that's something that you would like. Oh, and one thing that I haven't mentioned is that even if you're not ready yet, but you would like to join us in the future, the program is here to stay. So even if you start now, if you start your Oracle contributions now, in approximately a year or so, you will be ready. And we are here waiting for you with our many aces, with our mighty team behind the program. We are happy to welcome you in the future as well. And I was also very happy to talk about my passions, about my blog, about my family, about my country, tell you more about that. So again, I'm so excited about this opportunity. I'm looking forward to see the final video and also help promote it a little bit, because I think it's great what you are doing, Gilson, with this podcast series. I know you featured other aces in the past as well. Keep doing the amazing things that you are doing. I feel like you've helped a lot the community grow as well. And we're so happy to have you in the program for the last 5 years. And when you'll have 10, we'll have to meet and kind of maybe in person to kind of raise a
Sure.
glass.
Come to Brazil. Come to
Yeah.
you and Jen. Come to Brazil. Yeah.
Maybe we will, or maybe we'll meet halfway, or maybe you'll come to Romania. We'll see. Many things can happen in 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's to many, many more years for you into the program, and for many more members into the program as well. We're hoping to get all of you here to join us and have fun and learn and grow together.
All right, really, really an amazing talk, one. Thank you very much once again. And I'm gonna end the video as I always do. If you like this video, don't forget to give the like and subscribe the channel. And the most important thing, replicate knowledge and share this video.